now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Vibe Time Live without Geri again.
That's all right.
She's abandoning us. She thinks she needs to see her son.
Something about it's been gone for months or something with the military, and now she's going to spend all her time with him.
Yeah, actually, he's been there the whole time. She's just using an excuse.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Since when did that become more important coming on this?
That's right.
Right? That was my thought. I mean, it is Vibe Time with Geri. And last Tuesday, it was Vibe Time with Dennis Forgot the Fucking Show. Poor Dave's over there going, I don't know what the fuck to talk about.
I don't say a whole lot on these things, and here I'm by myself.
Talking for an hour.
I only had to talk for 30 minutes, and Dennis decided to show up.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That's why he was giving me shit for, hey, he's not outside mowing the yard. Well, yeah.
Was that last week? Yeah, mowing the lawn.
Yeah. Well, Geri was saying how their mower took a shit. Well, mine did the same thing. Push mower didn't work. So I had to go buy a new one. And, of course, you got a new mower. You got to play with it.
Sure.
Find out how it works. And
see how fast it goes when you hit the auto self-propelled, right?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what.
Hello, Tina.
It did good. It did good. I liked it. Not that I would have never personally chosen to buy a DeWalt, but it was okay. Hey, Tina.
Hey.
Like Lowe's doesn't give you much options anymore. It's like
is it electric power? Was it electric battery kind of thing, or?
Oh hell no! I'm not buying an electric one.
Yeah.
I only have a third of an acre, but a lot of it's uphill or downhill, depends which direction you're running, and it's fairly steep. And the last thing I want's a damn thing being dead halfway across the backyard. So, no, I bought middle of the road. It is self-propelled, rear-wheel drive. It worked. It mowed nice. Didn't mow any nicer than the 7-year-old one that I couldn't get to start anymore, so I just dragged that bitch out to the curb and said bye. But it mowed great when it worked, and then it didn't work anymore. So it's got to go.
Is your neighborhood anything like mine? You put anything beside the road and it's gone before pickup comes?
Pretty much. I mean, I'm on a main thoroughfare going back to the historic district, City Point. So yeah, I mean, if you put it out on the curb, it's gone. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
But,
hi, Paul.
It probably anybody that wanted to take the time to fix that could have probably got that mower running fairly easy. But I was tired of fucking with it for 2 months.
I'm sure someone picked it up from your curb, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll be running tomorrow. Someone else will be using it.
Yeah, they're probably out making money with it. And I don't care. It's stress off of me, and I've got one that pulls on like first or second pull. Starts up, self-propelled, goes off on its own. I'm not fighting with it anymore. I am perfectly happy.
Notice mine is starting to take 3 or 4 pulls now. Last year was 1 or 2. Now we're 3 or 4. So I don't know what's going on. It's on its way. I guess it's crossing the bridge soon.
That's what happened with this one.
The curb.
That's what happened with this one. I was up at 24 pulls on it, and it wouldn't start. I tried.
Well, hell with that. You throw your damn arm out trying to start a damn mower.
Oh yeah. I tinkered with the choke. I tinkered with the carburetor. And then I tinkered with which curb to throw it out to because I'm on a corner.
Which was the shorter walk.
Yeah. Well, that's where I took it. It was
farther to the side, right?
Yeah. It was still there when I got back from going to buy the new one. So then I moved it to the front curb. And before I was done with our podcast, it was gone.
Yeah, they don't take.
So-
Someone sees that and they scoop that right up for sure. No doubt.
Yeah,
I got a little more land than I think I got almost half acre here, and I push my mower once. Yeah, it takes me a couple hours to mow it by hand. I'm like, yeah, I got to start paying somebody to do that shit. So that's going to be my next move.
Yeah.
Take to hire somebody and say, screw it, I'll pay you $35 a week to have somebody come out and cut it for me.
35, that's cheap.
Yeah, it was what it cost me like 2 years ago. So I figure I'm going with. I had somebody one day. I had a party or something, and I couldn't get it done. So I went out and the guy was cutting next door, and I said,
Hey, Leah.
cut this one. Yeah, $35. So here you go.
Okay.
You're done. I'm thinking
Hey,
probably,
Ronnie, thanks for joining us.
probably closer to 50.
Yeah, I know. Well, for the cabin property, I pay 60 per lot. So, and that, there's a lot of parking blocks to trim around and et cetera, et cetera. So,
Yeah, that's a big area. It's a pretty big area.
yeah. Now, I did save him some time this week because I did a lot of the, hey, where the hell are you going, man?
Hey there, Ronnie.
Fucking camera is just kind of doing its own thing now. Well, it's not auto tracking me now. There we go. See, I'll play with you guys. But yeah, it's $60 per lot. He trims all the shit out. I don't have to fight with it. I'm good with it. If it wasn't for the fact that he trimmed everything and I had to go back and do that, I'd have an issue with it. But as it is, it's not bad.
So what's our topic tonight?
Hey, Sully.
We have a topic, David.
Hey, Sully. I doubt there is actually a formal topic, but I do have an idea.
What you got?
And it's kind of beating a dead horse. Locations and ownership and costs and all of those things. I watched Robin over at Ashmore Estates. They had the tornado straight line winds, ripped part of his roof off. I just got done today paying several $100s to get the HVAC in the brick rancher working. Of course, I paid a couple of $100 to get the AC here at home working too. But hey, Stevens, yeah,
Hey, John.
I thought he had fallen off the earth. But, I don't think folks realize what it costs to run a location. I've got a team coming in this weekend. They asked if there was a shower available. I said, well, I'll turn on the breaker for the hot water. Normally, I don't have hot water because I'm not paying to heat water for 5-6 days or, 25, 28 days out of the month, and it never gets used. So I'm going to turn the hot water on for them. It's all these things that go together. It costs me $200 a month for the internet, so folks can have high-speed Wi-Fi when they do streaming and when they do their podcast or whatever else they're doing. They're doing their lives. The power bills average anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a month, plus the lease payment, plus insurance. And folks are like, I don't understand why it's $1,000 a night to investigate. Well, I've got a low-cost location. I've got $4,000 a month in expenses to cover. At $1,000 a night, I'm breaking even because typically I'm booking 4 to 6 nights a month. And I'm only $350 a night, $400 on Saturdays. So I understand some of these places, they've got a shitload more overhead than I do. And I don't understand, why would you get into a hobby that you know is not cheap and then bitch when it costs money?
Yeah.
It's True.
I don't understand it. It's like fucking NASCAR driver complaining, "Oh my God, tires are so expensive." Well, then fucking drive slower and don't do well, bro. I don't get the logic. I mean, you know, Sully there at FPRI travels to a lot of locations. Anderson travels to a lot of locations. Paul, I'm not sure about you, bro, but all of them have expenses, whether we look at them and realize them or not. I mean, I have no option but to keep the internet. Otherwise, my cameras are unmanned and it's kind of useless to have them. I can tell you what happened when they broke in, but I can't tell you when they broke in.
Hey,
At
Ryan.
least with the cameras and shit. Hey, Ryan. At least with the cameras up and the internet feeding them, I get to find out, before much damage is done. You take a place like Ashmore Estates or what is it, Hill House. They've constantly got people approaching. St. Albans has had 4 or 5 people go in, trespass, and do damage. We can't run these places without camera systems and internet to alert us. So that's a must have. Obviously, power is must have if you want the camera systems. But I don't understand people complaining so much about the price. I had one dude tell me that, well, I can rent Pinhurst for $1,200 for the night. And I'm like, have at it, bro. Go rent Pinhurst for 3.5 times the price of what it would cost to rent the cabin. And same issue, you may or may not have activity. The cabin 99% of the time produces activity. But you'd what? Rather email me and bitch about my rates?
Yeah. Anybody who's done this for any amount of time knows that your rates are extremely fair.
Well, thank you.
And that there are places like Penhurst, Moundsville, all those big places that charge over $1,000 a night. I don't like the price, but I understand the price. It's the places that it's the places that are quote unquote small that are trying to charge the Penhurst prices, the Moundsville prices that I have a problem with.
Well, how much? I mean, I don't know how much it costs, but what is like the cost to run a Penhurst, something like that? I mean, I don't know what. I mean, they're booking like every weekend. These people, sometimes through a week. So they're getting a lot more. You figure they're booking 3 times as many visitors as you are, charging 3 times the price. I mean, I'm sure they're covering their costs and then making a little bit of money on top of it. Whereas you're just breaking your ass even. That's it.
I'm not even doing that.
Just to keep the place open. Whatever you're doing, that's between you and the books. But you're doing it to keep a place from being torn the hell down. Or whatever come of it. Whereas they're doing it. I think their motivations are a little different. I don't know if they're some of these larger. We talked about it at one time where there was the one group of people that actually they're out for profit on it, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of them are. I mean, you look at.
Not to say you wouldn't take the profit if it came your way, but you're not them at this point,
Oh, I'd love profit.
Sure.
That would be great. But you look at a place like Penhurst. Right? Penhurst is an easy target because it's huge. They just did their Paracon, so my understanding is 7,000 guests went through the gate at check-in for Penhurst Paracon.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets were what, 50?
Yeah, 50 or $100, depending on what you got. Like VIP tickets were more or whatever.
Yeah. I think it was anywhere from 50 to 150 a ticket.
Something like that, yeah.
7,000 guests. Now, they had the big names, and I know some of those clowns, those individuals cost, a couple of $1,000s to come out for a weekend. But they had 7,000 people were willing to spend the money to come there to meet those celebrities, et cetera, walk through Pinhurst. Some of them investigated, some of them didn't because that wasn't what their ticket was for. I don't understand. You're talking they probably made $500,000 on that weekend.
I made a bunch, that's for sure.
I mean,
I've investigated Penhurst. You get a lot of space in there, a lot of building, but those buildings don't have windows. Some of them, you're not getting heat.
Yeah.
They're not paying the expenses you're paying to, keep a place heated. And Penhurst, like I said, I've done it. It's a fantastic location, extremely active. But you got 10 buildings there, and whatever they give you access to X amount of them, whatever. But you're not getting what the hell's going on here. Phone's blowing up. But you're not getting the same accommodations that you're giving them. People are spending a night in your place.
Yeah, and then the heat in there,
the heat,
Mhm.
the air conditioning, spend the night. The water. If everybody does get showers, I know I spent the night at your place. I know what it was like to be there for the evening, and we're there for 2 nights.
Yeah, you guys
we thought the price was extremely fair. We didn't complain about it at all. I thought it was great, very accommodating.
And I appreciate that. Unfortunately, though, I think I'm going to have to bump my rates, and I'm probably going up $50 a night. But matter of fact, I can do it right now. Not off of that one, but let's look at this one. That's my total of bookings for July. There's a lot more empty spaces than full spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And, if I could get 2/3 of a month to book, I could keep my rates where it's at. I'm getting 1/3, 1/4. I'm going backwards. And then I still get emails bitching that it's so expensive. Oh, that's too much for one person. Well, I'm not telling you to bring one person. I'm telling you that rate's for up to 10 people. And bring 9 friends. I don't care. Split the cost. But no matter what you do, and I discovered this somewhere along the way, no matter what you do, people are going to bitch. Prime example, this year, 250th anniversary of America, 4th of July. President says, we're going to do 880,000 explosives or whatever charges for the fireworks display. People are bitching, it's going to destroy the environment. It's going to disturb the animals. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. And it's nothing but his ego. Dennis forgot to keep his mouth shut, and I typed in, just shut the fuck up and sit down. If he did half as many, you'd bitch. If he did twice as many as average, you'd bitch. No matter what the man does, you're going to bitch. Just sit down, shut up, and wait till his term is over.
Yeah.
You can find a cure for cancer and people still hate him.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm just tired. And it doesn't seem to matter what your intent, purpose, or goal is. There's going to be people to bitch about it. So I've taken on the attitude now of, you know what? I'm just going to cruise on through. I'm going to keep doing what I do. People are going to like it or not like it. And at the same time, I'm just going to go, hey, I'm here. We're doing what we do. And if you don't like it, well, then too bad, so sad.
How's it going, John?
I'm John.
I'm here.
Welcome, Mr. Savage.
Were you out cutting your lawn?
Say again? Yeah.
You're giving me shit for what I was doing.
Just curious.
Nah. What happens when you get old?
He's giving me shit because Tuesday night I was supposed to join David for vibe time while Geri kicked it with her kid, and I missed it because I was out mowing the lawn. I missed the first half.
Nah, we just had a bad lightning strike nearby, and the power flickered, and so I had to kind of start resetting everything.
as opposed to a good lightning strike nearby?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good for someone else. I mean, maybe it ended their life and they don't need to complain anymore.
Damn.
Maybe they got a really great photograph of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's got a good image of it.
You know, made their night. They caught
Yeah.
they
Someone got lit up.
someone got burned up, and the other person took a picture of it happening. They're all
Yeah.
happy as shit. They didn't know the end result. They just got the picture of a lightning bolt. That's all.
Yeah.
It depends which side of the coin you're on, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, my family used to do a lot of camping. And we met with my aunt and uncle and their kids one summer. And we're going to go spend a week camping. I forget the name of the little campgrounds that we were going to. Now, they got 5 kids. So it's myself, my brother, mom and dad, aunt and uncle, their 5 kids, girlfriends, whatever. We have a canopy stretched among the treetops, and a lightning storm came up. Well, actually, just a summer storm in Ohio. It blew part of the canopy loose. My oldest cousin shimmies up the tree, and he's trying to retie the canopy back up while the storm is still going. The last thing I remember was looking up to see where he's at and seeing this bolt of lightning shoot across the treetops, him launch out of the tree, his dad halfway catching him, and him yelling, "Motherfuck, that hurt!"
Wow.
He come out of that tree backwards. Like, I don't think you should be in a tree in a
Definitely not in a tree
storm.
during a storm. No, that's not a good idea. We had one hit our pole in front of my mom and dad's house growing up. It was like 20 feet from the house. You could actually feel the energy. You know, you feel it. The static energy comes off of it. My mom and my brother were getting out of the car. They quickly slammed the door shut. Scared the shit out
Yeah,
of
we'll
me.
just
Thank
wait
God
in the
for
car.
that. Yeah, pretty much. But
Now,
yeah, we actually got thrown back from the steps. We're waiting for them at the front door. And we actually got thrown back from it. Was that
wow.
like literally 20, 30 feet from us where it hit?
Yeah. Now that reminds me, I was watching a video of the tripwire. This has been probably 3 weeks or more ago. And you would see the full tripwire light up along with a couple of other EMF devices that were set out.
Mhm.
And he said, "Oh, we got a storm off in the distance." And then the following week, we were at the cabin investigating, and we're in the basement, and I'm watching the lightning and judging the time of the thunder. And you're talking 3 to 5 miles away, and the lightning is still triggering that full tripwire.
Yeah.
So, what is the distance? I mean, I guess it boils down to what environmental change is there, period. At what distance do storms no longer interact with us? You know, let's say we're out investigating St. Albans or the cabin or whatever. How far away does a storm have to be before we're not getting false positives on REM pods, EMF meters, tripwires, all of those things?
I would say, and I'm looking at it from a meteorological view, at least 10 to 15 miles away. Because I know with the old natural trimeter, I can pick up a thunderstorm that was 50 miles away easily. It would register on the scale.
Hmm.
I mean, the static discharge from a storm, it can reach easily 100 miles out. I mean, you have like sprites, which comes out from the top of the storms. They go 20, 30 miles up into the atmosphere. So the energy from a storm, there we go, um, will I think it will affect your readings. And yes, you'll probably get a false positive. The more intense the storm, the more intense it's going to emit more of static energy, static discharge, positive, negative ions are being released. It does affect the environment.
Yeah, I always thought of it in the sense where if you can hear the light, you can hear the thunder, then you're within range of the potential electric field from it.
I mean,
And
I read reports where someone got struck by lightning and the storm was 30, 40 miles away.
it seems a lot, but I guess it's possible under the right conditions. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I never really thought of it that never thought that about that far. I mean, it's a good point.
I mean, if
we
you
all
think
do
about
the
it,
weather, but
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the severe storms, they're going 30, 40,000 feet up in the atmosphere.
yeah.
You can see a thunderstorm, an anvil cloud, easily 50 plus miles away on the horizon.
Yeah,
So,
you don't realize how far it is when you're looking at it.
Yeah.
But,
So that energy discharge, can reach a very long distance. They can affect it. It might not be very strong, but it might be just enough to register on a trimeter or maybe on a tripwire. It is,
right?
it is picking up the static field in the environment.
Well, it's also got to be EMF.
So do you think that a storm that's 50 miles away can potentially impact, if you're a believer that electric storms can impact paranormal activity, do you think a storm that's 50 miles away can actually amp activity up in a location?
Why not?
If it can register on our meters,
yeah,
why wouldn't it?
Right.
And that'd be an interesting experiment. Set up some REM pods when there's a thunderstorm, let's say within, just for giggles, 10 miles away, 20 miles away, and see what reactions you get from the REM pods or from the EMF meters.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I really thought about that far. I mean, I'm going to try that next time there's a storm that I see coming in across the. Because I can see them coming across from. Well, problem is we're in a position here where, for whatever reason, Philadelphia and the river seem to really mess with the weather patterns. So when we look like we're getting ready to be nailed by a storm, it tends to break apart as it crosses over the city for whatever reason. But I'd be curious if I can, I see them out there, like, we can see a storm that's coming from central Pennsylvania, which is probably 50, 60 miles away from us. And I'd like to see if that affects us or not. Because you can see the line of storms. Some of them are pretty damn strong. Like an isolated storm. I'm talking about like a strong lines of storms, though. You're not talking about a single.
Hold on, I want to see if this picks it up. It doesn't. But yeah, I mean, we've got a cluster of severe storms all over the place.
Yeah, that's a small grouping. W. Are you talking about like a line of storms, like an actual front coming through, the one that reaches from Maine down to fucking Florida? Or are you talking about an isolated one single storm out in the middle of Pennsylvania?
It could be all the above, depending how bad the intensity of the storm is. I mean, if it's just a regular rainstorm, then no lightning or anything, then nothing's going to happen. But if you're getting storms where it's a lightning storm, you can watch heat lightning, for example. You can sit and watch heat lightning from a state away if the storms are high enough. That's going to have energy. Where versus a regular cold front, you got some rain, maybe some gusty winds. I don't think anything's going to happen. I think the atmosphere has to be charged up. And usually when that happens, you've got an increase in positive, negative ion charges from the surface up to the cloud. You can have a discharge. If it has hail in the storm, hail produces electrical energy. And there's correlation between the hail and lightning. Because you got those ice particles, which are, I believe those are positively charged, bouncing into each other, making frictions, just like if you're walking on shag carpet with velvet pants. It's going to start building up that discharge.
I hate when I do that.
Yeah, I hate that too.
It always tickles my testicles, the velvet pants especially.
You just couldn't do it, could you?
Did you see that?
I couldn't let it go, man.
It looks like Ronnie wanted to get in. Did you see that, David? Is he
Huh?
waiting? It looks like it said
Ronnie is
said,
trying to get in. David, pay attention.
Can you,
That's on Geri. She's watching that. I can't see
she
that
said
far.
she said to hit her up if anything was Oh, he's in. Wait a minute. Vibe time with Jerry. Come on in. So she's
Sorry, John, I couldn't resist. But yeah, you're right. I understand the positive, and if I'm not mistaken, when the hail, for lack of a better term, when the hail crystals bomb into each other, they're positively charged. They create a negative discharge
Right.
on impact.
Right.
And then that negative charge gets thrown to another hail crystal that turns it positive and creates even more energy from it. And then when they slam into the ground, it creates even a different charge.
Yep.
So, but here's the question on that. How far away, if there's no lightning involved in that storm, how far away would that energy and what type energy would that manifest itself in for our equipment? Static or EMF?
Your answer is going to be as good as mine.
Yeah, would it simply be
next storm front that comes through? We'll all have our friggin' meters out sitting on our desk. Would it?
Yeah.
I just looked at my radar to see if I have any nearby. I don't have anything nearby right now. Now, do you think? Because I live in an area that's, I don't know how you guys are with your homes, but assuming they're like mine, there's a lot of trees, a lot of hills, obstacles. Do you think that affects it as well, prevents it from getting to it, shields you a little bit, or you think it's?
I mean, I'm here on the water, so I think it's all environmental. I mean, I think that it depends the thickness of the building. I mean, it's just
what your walls are consistent of, or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, think of it like Wi-Fi signals. I mean, if you have very thick walls, Wi-Fi signal's not going to go through a lot of these walls to begin with. Same thing with EMF energy and static energy. It can't penetrate that far in.
Hey, Ronnie,
you have to be in relation to your basement. You're underground.
No video.
I'm sorry.
I'm here. My camera don't work.
If you're in a basement, you're not going to have as much. I guess you have to be level to either above the ground or on ground level, not below ground level, for it to really be effective as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say try in different locations, but each storm's going to be different.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that, because each storm is going to have different properties within that storm.
But I think you can get a baseline on, a typical thunderstorm versus like a tornado outbreak type of storms. From inside the house, maybe putting a EMF meter or a REM pod, something that you can measure, especially EMF meters outside, so you can see the value that you're measuring. Just putting a REM pod outside, okay, it lights up. It's telling you, yes, it's picking up on a discharge, but it doesn't give you the numerical value of that data. Sorry, I'm geeking out.
That's all right.
Yeah, no, good topic.
Good
conversation.
It sounds to me like we need to buy a bunch of EDS loggers and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Good thing you got that new job, John. Now you can help us buy all this gear we need.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know. This is like a job, a dream job. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, by the way, congratulations on that, brother. I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you.
For sure.
Thank you.
So are you no longer at the state park?
I'm doing some hours at the state park, but I work for the city now. In the Parks and Rec department, I'm a senior technician, a supervisor. So I don't have to mow. I don't have to pick up trash. I can just tell the little minions what to do.
You know why he's a senior technician, right?
Oh shit! Here we go.
Look at that hair color on him.
Comes for us all, man.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I'm the oldest one here.
I doubt that.
Okay, well, other than Ronnie, I'm the oldest one
Yeah.
here.
You know, I couldn't resist that little.
That's okay. That's
Well, we
I
love
love
you anyway, John.
I love you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Dennis is older than you are, John.
probably.
I'm only 55.
I'm older.
I'm not a baby. I'm the baby here. Huh?
I'm 57.
I'm 53.
I'm 59.
Are you really?
Yeah,
He's the
June
old guy.
9th, 1967.
Yeah, he's the old guy. Well,
We should call this the old fart paranormal.
Yeah, we talked
We're
about
getting-
that before.
Yeah, we did.
we're getting that way. We're getting that way. But yeah, so my other question comes in with EMF and static and all of that. Having HVAC running in a location, they work on capacitors and resistors and a lot of other electronics on the boards, plus the airflow itself. Airflow generates a charge. How much of that do you think plays into an investigation?
A
Are you
lot.
better going into a location and turning off the air system?
I think if you can get a base reading with everything running before you even start, anything above that would be.
Well, that
My-
becomes
I mean-
with,
I mean,
with that.
you're
Go ahead.
gonna have EMF bleed off from appliances, microwaves, electric stoves, the compressor off of the AC unit or the refrigerator. I mean, even with the TV, there's some EMF discharge. I think the only way you can really see the value is just what you just said a few seconds ago. Shut everything down. I mean, hit the main breaker switch, no power whatsoever to the house. Measure the EMF level with a digital device. And then, go to certain parts, go in the kitchen, go into the dining room, go where, computer room, whatever, see what the levels are. Because you're going to have background EMF readings anyways. So
Right.
take that value, turn everything back on, and see what the difference is from that non-value power or whatever to what you have now.
See, and that's what used to crack
What
me
we
up.
do. Yeah.
But I think it's
Yeah.
so small that unless you got something that's really sensitive device-wise for a meter, you won't pick it up.
Well, there's also failure in components. They will put higher EMF out. I did a private residence one time. The woman was having an issue with skin irritations. Like it was bad enough that husband and wife couldn't even sleep together anymore. He moved into the spare room, and the skin irritations on her were so bad she could wear like flannel night pants basically and a light shirt, but couldn't tolerate much else. And they were avid motorcyclists, and she hadn't ridden with him in 6-8 months because she couldn't stand putting on the gear. So when I went through, the first thing I did was walk through with a K2 meter, just basic. And I'm getting high levels on it. And I'm like, this ain't going to cut it. I got to go get the damn. I actually went out. I got my Mel meter, which will give me a digital output. And then I backed that up on a tri-field meter. Their backyard averaged 35 milligauss. They had the huge power towers that ran off their backyard and ran through the easement. 35 milligauss was the baseline in their backyard. At the head of their bed, they each had a receptacle that was about even with the mattress. And that damn thing buried a K2 meter. And it was running average of about 60 milligauss on each side. Their hallway, which was a fairly short hallway, one end of it was about 25. You got to the middle, it was about 45 to 50. And you got to the other end, it's back down to 25. And they called it their little fear cage. And they were right. And then standing at her kitchen sink, like where she would be to be washing dishes, the backyard window where, it's 35 milligauss out front or out back all the time because the damn high tension lines. And she's running 60 and 70 milligauss because she has can lights right above her. I'm like, sweetheart, I'm not so sure you have a haunted issue so much as you have an electrical issue. I told him to bring in an electrician, rip those circuits out, replace them, get better shielded wire in there, get rid of those can lights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And about 2.5, 3 months later, they showed up at the cabin. She's dressed in their riding attire. He's parking the bike, and they're just happy as shit.
Well, let me piggyback on what you're just saying. Many years ago, back in Minnesota with my team, I had a team member who was a certified electrician, and he noticed high EMF meters throughout the house, especially from the outlets, wiring, and everything else. And he found out that on some of these older houses, the house was not ground properly.
Right.
And some of the water pipes coming into the house wasn't grounded. So all he had to do was take a copper wire, ground the main water pipe coming out from the street into the house, ground that out, and the EMF levels just dropped like it didn't even exist. And right when that happened, they started to feel nothing. The activity almost disappeared. Their perception of something happening was gone.
Exactly. Those that are highly susceptible to EMF energy it will cause hallucinations. If it's bad enough, it can cause the skin irritations. It can cause mumbled, jumbled thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what terminology they used for it when I was reading it.
EMF
Yeah, just
Hey,
Now-
Dennis, do you remember the purple room at the Avenel, the one on
Yeah.
the backside of the kitchen?
yeah.
The I think the heating unit and all is right up under that floor. And we used to take mills in there and K2s in there, and about halfway across the room, you'd have a baseline would be nothing, and then when the heat would turn on, it would spike everything in the room.
Yeah,
So-
that's that airflow in
definitely.
the motor.
Yeah.
Well, that
So-
and if some of the old homes where they still have the electric baseboard heaters, all that
Oh,
is,
God, yes.
holy shit. The house just, that was a lightning that just struck nearby. All that is just metal coil that's heating up.
hmm
That will produce some serious EMF electrical discharge.
Do you think that when you had that house where you were mentioning with the electric being regrounded to the outside,
Mhm.
were they perhaps having activity and the activity stopped when the energy that these beings
Fed
were
them?
taking from, the entities were taking from, was no longer there for them to use it to manifest anymore?
Could be. I mean, afterwards, we were getting EVPs, we were getting some anomalies in different areas of the house, but it was also their perception of what they were experiencing. And once he grounded the house out, we went back a month later and no evidence, no audio,
Nothing.
nothing. And even they felt different. They felt more relaxed. They weren't, paranoid, like someone's watching them. They weren't, as she said it, I felt like I was off, but now I feel normal.
We had a case
Yeah.
one time where it was a trailer that had the same thing, high EMF inside of a trailer, and the guy when we got there was claiming to see um, figures hanging from the ceiling in tie-dye pants. That's what he would say, and we knew it was. We told him the same thing. Like, you got to get an electrician in here to reground
Yeah.
this place. It was a problem.
And that's
We
where
never did it, but
that's where we as seasoned professionals, we look at that explanation first. Let's try and rule it out and see if it changes. But I do believe that our mind is so powerful, and they can receive information that at some point with EMF fields and static energy, whatever, it does affect us where we might be able to open up that third eye and see things or sense something.
And that's what one of the things that used to crack me up about the original paranormal shows. They'd walk through with a K2 meter, and as you see, Bobo over here is getting the baseline readings on EMF through the home with a K2 meter. Okay. That's not a baseline. That's just going through going, yep, shit happens.
Yeah. And looking at the old houses, houses from the 1800s, or shoot, even from the 30s, 40s, 50s, the wiring was so unshielded. I mean, it was just cloth wiring wrapped up in cloth. And those things would just bleed, especially if you had a house that was sold the porcelain knob and tubing in the attics and basement. I mean,
Yeah, the knob and tube with the cotton clad aluminum is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
The amount of bleed that you would get in the general environment from electromagnetic fields was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I swear sometimes those old homes, it's like a little mini Tesla coil. Stick a light bulb near one of the wires, you might actually activate the light bulb.
you find a lot of the old homes as well that they have copper piping. They'll ground their wires right through the copper piping.
Exactly.
Which adds a charge too, through the floors or wherever.
Yeah, and all right, so for a couple of years, I ran a crew that did the wire drop from your transformer to your meter. And one of the first things that we always had to do was run 3 5-foot rods into the ground and run a number 6 piece of wire, which is damn near the size of my pinky, that went up and grounded everything. And we ran those 3 5-foot rods because that was what it took to get a zeroed out ground. And people did not understand that that's what we're looking for. And in this field, if you have even a baseline of 2.5 milligauss, 2.5 milligauss doesn't seem like much unless you're in it for a long period of time, or there's a spike and now all of a sudden it's a 5.2, or you walk through a burst for whatever reason that burst is there, and now you hit a 15 for just that moment. But that's enough to cause issue. But when your baseline is 20, 25, 40, that'll cause paranoia, disillusions.
Yeah, that's not cumulative at that point in time. You're not getting cumulative exposure. You're getting hardcore exposure. That's just, it affects your body. Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're living in a big fear cage.
Yeah, exactly. Theaters that do movie productions or theatrical productions, they have the stage and there's 500 overhead lights above you. All of that, even though those lights are off, all of that wiring that carries to all of those lights still emits some electromagnetic field. So, carry a meter, not just a K2. A K2 isn't squat. An actual meter with either digital or analog output.
Yeah, I can't get the mine. I got a new digital little, I guess it's like a tri-field. It's a triple axis. It's not actual called tri-field. It's some bozo brand, but it works. I was like, $40 off Amazon or something. So, I needed a new tri-field meter. So So let me just go try one of these things for $45. I'm like, I'm impressed. Like, this thing's working pretty damn good. And it comes with like lights as well. So it has like a red light and a blue light and a green light. So when the
That's
levels
the one I
are
carry,
out of
John.
range.
Yep.
Hey, I got the same thing. We have that as well, but this one here is like a digital version of that.
Yeah.
Actually gives a digital readout, and it's great for doing a sweep of a house, whatever, just to see where your levels are. But I was impressed, like 30 for $45 or whatever it was. I was like, I'm gonna get another one.
Yeah.
Small.
And
Send,
then
send a link to that. I'd like to see what that one is.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that one will
I will.
also monitor RF too.
Well, to do a
Yeah, I
real
will. I'll see if I
baseline
can
somewhere,
find
you
it.
need a tri-field meter.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. The tri-field is perfect because you can also do radio sweep on it. If you get a spike on a device, then it's going to look at radio frequency as well, not just EMF. That's the benefit of tri-field.
Yeah.
There you
All
go.
my K2 meters are directional, so they're not good for anything anyway.
It's like a little meter, and it's has on it it's a RDINSCOS. Is what the company is.
Okay.
It's RD670 EMF meter. And you can see it has like I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me turn off my lights. You can see it.
Yeah. By the way, thanks, John. Had to send your damn storm this way now, huh?
See if you can see it or not.
Oh, right now I'm looking at the radar, and we've got these two major storms literally colliding with each other.
Yeah. So I'm going to be nosy, Mr. Savage. With the
Yeah.
new employment, what's the new schedule look like?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I think I will be more available. Right now I'm working Tuesday through Saturday, but I'm only working maybe from 7 a.m. until like 2:30 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock at latest. And then I have Sundays and Mondays off. After after October, I'll be down to Monday through Fridays only.
Nice.
So I can be more available um, down the road,
Well,
which
that's
is good
good.
because I want to do some more stuff. And I'll actually have money.
Money.
What's that?
Yeah.
Hey, I was only getting about $630 every 2 weeks from the state park.
I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, can you confirm that for me, David?
Yeah, I did. I found which one did I find? The RD630.
Yeah, here you go. I'm going to share the screen if you guys can. You can let me in with that. It picks up the RF. It's funny every time I do something, a transaction or something on the internet here, it picks it up. Can you get it?
And I'm messaging Geri.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when it's send a request for it. But that's, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really played with it as much as I'd like to. But next time I'm out, I'm going to work with it more. But so far, I'm like, wow, it's actually pretty good. And actually, you can see a picture of the UV lights I got on here as well. I got these big ass, the ones that I caught that video with. You guys saw? I shared with you. We
Yeah,
did that
that
with
was awesome.
And we crossed up a couple of UV lights and then hit the center point with an IR light. And that's exactly where that point was, wherever that was, it floated by. So we got like 3 lights being more or less focused on one area on the video camera, and it worked. I had an IR, had 2 UV lights set up on the side, like if you figure at like 3 o'clock, and just say maybe like 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock, facing towards a point. There you go. All right. Like I said, it works. I mean, this little thing here, 3-in-1, You get into the features for it. See if I can share the. There you are.
See, and I like that Wi-Fi feature because, I mean, that's
Well, that's what I was looking for. Something to, pick up the additional, EF. Let's see what we got.
so you can download the information.
Yeah, I haven't really played with it. It has a USB in it to side. You can a little
Ooh,
little
you can do
port on
little.
it. You can plug in and download everything. Yeah, I haven't really played with it as much as I want to. You can record something. So I've just started working with it. I
Okay.
was, I said for 45 hours. Let me try it. I like the idea of the tri-field, effect where you're able to get the 3 readings. Like you see, it has the triple axis. So you're getting a true reading when we're with the meter versus directional. Like most of your meters, you have that directional effect to them. Like K2 meter, for instance, from the back, not the actual front, like people think.
Yeah.
Or the millimeter from the sides. So this here is giving you that triple axis reading.
Yeah. I'm going to cut this short because we just had a lightning strike, and I just saw something go past the window, like a little streak of light.
Oh,
So,
that's not good.
and the light flickered just a little. So I am going to log off. I'm going to shut everything down in the house.
All right, be safe, man.
All right, Dennis. I'll talk to you a little bit later. If not tonight, for sure tomorrow.
Sounds good, John. Stay safe down there.
See you, John.
All right, bye.
Later, John.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought it was worth a shot.
Yeah.
And these lights right here is ones I set up outside the house, on the grounds of that location. They got some serious push on them, and they're just black lights. I said, let me try it. What the hell? $33 for 2 of them, pack of 2. And I set them up outside this amphitheater at this Girl Scout camp we investigated. And I drove I drove an IR light right down the center of it. To give it like a full spectrum effect to whatever, and I threw my camera on it. This video camera right here, like that version, goes into the night vision, and in that night vision feature right there, you're seeing it came up with that mist flying across. I was surprised. So outdoors, I mean, this illuminated an entire. Let me see if I can show you here. You guys still see my screen?
I see a white screen.
Let me share this with you if I can again. I'll stop sharing and see if it'll let me do that. All right, here you go again, David. Let's put it out there for everybody who's watching. Anybody who's on here. Let's see if you can give me some feedback on what you think this is. I'm all for it. You can do it. Let me know when you're sharing, Dave.
It's on share.
Oh, it's on there. Shit. I'm looking at the top screen where the video's at. Here you go. All right. So everybody who's on here, what do you guys think that is? Anybody have any ideas? Because I'm throwing it out there for trying to debunk it. It was extremely hot. It wasn't breath. No, there was no cars moving around. We were down in an amphitheater, so we figure like a stadium seating. We're at the very bottom of it. And I can actually show you another video.
All right. Well, is there an HVAC unit anywhere nearby?
No HVAC units.
Well, like outside the building or anything like that. And the reason I ask,
this
if they're in defrost
like
mode,
in the middle of the woods.
Okay.
No vaping, no smoking.
There you go. This is the video of us sitting there. No vaping. No, you'll see us. Maybe you come up with this is the actual identical timing on the video. And we don't see anything on this one, but you'll see me indicate that something went by. I move my hands, I think, from right to left or something. This is the exact time, and we see nothing. That's what I'm talking about right there. Did anybody see anything in that video that would indicate any kind of movement?
Yeah,
of anything? Now I'm talking about it there and saying something just went across the screen. So
Yeah, it was interesting.
I can't figure it out.
That image right there, is there like a giant totem pole on the left-hand side of the tent? Because that looks like a big face.
Yeah, that's a tree right in the middle of the woods. It's funny because now, the video, the original video I showed you, the one that's mine. I see a picture of Jesus' face in it. I'll see if you guys see it, just kicks and giggles. Where did I see it at? If I can find it.
Oh, stop! Back up.
Where am I backing up? All right. Where am I backing up to? I'll start over. Tell me when.
Right there.
Okay. What do you see?
On the left hand, inside the door to that tent. On the left hand, I swear it looks like a head peeking out.
Let's take a look. Tell me when to stop.
You're beyond it. All right, I'm trying to see your timer. There's 3, 5.
Yeah, I see what you were talking about, Dennis. But I can't tell if it's just pixelation or what.
I think it may be in the way it's rolling by, but it's at like the 2 to 5 second mark.
2 to 5
seconds. Is it inside the door?
Right there. Stop.
All right. Where am I looking?
All right. I can't see what's your timer indicator on that? Is that 3 seconds?
3 seconds right there. Yep.
All right. Go back 1 full second.
You're talking about right here?
Yeah. It just looks cool. Honestly, it looks like a skeleton face looking out the damn doorway.
I can see that. Yeah,
and
I can
it looks to be moving as your camera pans across.
Yeah, this is probably my hand moving. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
but see there, it disappeared.
Yeah, I think that's just because of the angle of the camera. But interesting.
Yeah, you can see the trees behind it, correct? I think it's just matrixing from the tree.
That's the Jesus face right there. That's here. Right, there's 2 eyes, the nose. I mean, obviously it's not, but I'm joking. I see the face of Jesus right here.
That reminds me, when I was a kid, we used to have Archer Daniels Midland plant in Fostoria, Ohio, big grain silos and shit. And just the way the rust and oxidation and paint fade on these gigantic silos shadowed at night when they had the plant lights on and the huge perimeter lights. There was a huge hype that the face of Jesus with a lamb showed up on the side of this silo. And people lost their ever-loving damn minds. They traveled from across the country and across the globe to come to this little shithole town I grew up in to see Jesus and a lamb up on the side of a silo, because that's the way the paint and shit faded. They fucked traffic up for weeks with that. And then finally Archer Daniels Midland painted the building. The silo. Yeah, that was funny as hell. And it's just matrixing.
Yes, that's it. Like I say, I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody in chat have any comments or information? You think any input for that? I don't know if anybody's still here or not.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting catch.
Yeah, I agree with Ronnie. It's an interesting catch.
Yeah.
And the fact that it doesn't show up on the stationary at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which is a full spectrum. The stationary is a
Yeah.
full spectrum, and the one I'm holding is an IR, the one I showed you.
Yeah. Well, and that's what makes it even more interesting. Knowing now that you had an IR mixed and blended with the two black lights, uh, to make kind of an improvised full spectrum. But it shows up under the infrared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It looks like a natural occurrence. It looks like cold weather breath.
Exactly. That's first thought.
Yeah. But, you guys are out there sweating your balls off. It didn't look like
it was
anybody's wearing a fucking parka.
No, it was pretty hot. It was humid. It was hot. It had rained earlier in the day, so it was really humid. I'm thinking of anything I can tell you. I mean, I can't come up with anything to explain it. So I'm going to put it out there,
Yeah, like I said, if I didn't know who produced the video, and I didn't see that second video, I'd have said it was somebody blowing smoke, literally blowing smoke.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Yeah.
No vaping going on in that video. And if you
but
can hear the audio, you can hear the audio on both of them. It's synced up. It's not like I wish I can play them side by side at the same time, but it's completely synced up. And the video, it's
Here's a thought. What happens when you put an ice cube in warm water? You get a little bit of vapor comes off, right?
possible.
One of our one of our theories is that spirit is a cold spot. And you just said it was very humid and quite warm.
Mm-hmm.
So if we had spirit approach and, present itself or breach the veil, whatever, then now you have that proverbial ice cube in the cool water or the warm water. So maybe that's the introduction for it.
It's a great point.
There was one reason why I asked you originally when we seen it, did you feel any kind of environmental change when you seen it?
No, not at all. And that's the thing. I'm going to share it again, Dave. I'm going to show you. I had a theory. You could see the. I hate to keep on making you go through this, but let me bring it up one more time. This is the full spectrum one, and you'll see my camera, and right to my left once it comes up, it's an amphitheater. See, we're down low. We're probably, if you go to the top of the video, did it come up, David? Sure.
Not yet.
Don't let it bullshit you. He won't look in. He was off in La La Land.
Can we share it again? Not yet.
No, waiting on Geri again.
Oh, okay. Well, if it comes back up, you'll see what I mean. It's an amphitheater, so think of like a stadium seating where you have a stadium, you have seats on both sides, and there's usually an aisle that goes right between, to get the both sides of it, the right side and left side. The trajectory of this, you can see right here to my left.
Yeah, I can see the angle of them. That would be.
It's coming from like the right to the left. Okay, and it's almost like it's following that path, as if it were transiting up the center of the aisle.
Well, I mean, it was fairly obvious that it was moving from your right to left. And the question comes in, did it pass in front of the other three that are sitting there? Did they feel any sort of environmental change?
None at all. Nobody indicated anything. We tried to debunk the shit out of it after it happened. We were there for quite a while. Tried everything we could think of. We talked about everything like you're saying. We're in the middle of a Girl Scout camp. Was there someone with a campfire? Not that we're aware of. I mean, it's possible, but it was just an isolated, dense amount of smoke that was by. I mean,
if it had been a campfire, you would have seen more than that.
Correct. And that's what we thought.
Was there an active camping going on at the time?
There were campers out on the other side of the lake. I mean, we had half the camp to ourselves, and the other half was a couple troops were out there. Yes, but this was like 11:30 at night, so you're not talking about Girl Scouts being out there with a campfire at 11:30 at night.
Yeah,
these are kids.
And you would have smelled that. You would have known that
Correct.
was it.
Correct. There's none of that. There was no vaping, as you can see. There was no cars there that pulled in behind us or near us or anything like that. We were down low. We were in the middle of the woods. I mean, literally in the middle of the woods. There was a lake probably 100 yards to my left that was going towards the lake, not away from the lake. If it was different, if it was coming from the lake towards us, it wasn't even off the lake. It was going towards it in that direction, so I couldn't explain it that way. I had nothing. We went through a bunch of scenarios and couldn't come up with anything. That's why I put it out to you guys to have you guys give me an opinion on it, because if I'm going to put it out there for the public to look at, and then the obvious first thought was breath or vaping, like you're saying. I needed to have give me a little bit of a backup on this, saying, hey, am I crazy, or is this something to think about? So, you guys think of something to think about. I'm going to put it out there with that and say, I had a couple of other professionals in the field review it, and all of us come to the consensus that we can't explain it.
I believe if it was something natural, also it probably showed up on both cameras some way,
Exactly.
shape, or form.
Yeah.
And that's that's why we purposely sat there in that spot, because we knew we were on the camera behind us, and we also were at the focus point where we had tried to focus all 3 light beams at.
Right.
So we were because there's right next to that IR camera on the right. There was it was more towards the center of it. There was an IR light, an actual one that supposedly goes 80 foot. Didn't work. But in any case, it was it's this little IR light we had got focused at in the center, and the 2 UV lights I showed you, one on each side of it, at facing in at like a 45-degree angle, one in the center. So we created a center point just about where that camera picked up that image. And it's funny because we had hypothesized a couple nights before, we were going through, and we have this thing in the group. Let me stop this and we can talk again. We have this thing in the group that we have a meeting in a minds night where we get together online and we come up with ideas, just discuss different possibilities of things that we could do to change things up a little bit, utilize the equipment that we have, come up with new concepts, new ideas, whatever. Okay. Well, this was one of the concepts we came up with. We had purchased these lights, and we had, what can we use them for? In a large area, we had perfect scenario outdoors. We planned on setting up these lights in this area, or in an area similar to this, somewhere on the camp, to test out this theory of having the 2 lights come out and meet at a point, and with the IR light in the center. And the reason I said it was, in my way of thinking, way we described it was, is if you're setting an IR light or a UV light directly off a camera facing in a forward motion, you're getting almost like a one-dimensional view on it. Meaning you're hitting it one shot. You're not getting it from, not encompassing the entire thing, right? You're hitting it like a mirror image if something's facing you. You see what I'm trying to say? So the thought was, is if we came from another angle and we hit it from a different angle or multiple angles, would we be able to use the light to somewhat create a 3-dimensional view of it? Meaning you're hitting the same part, the same energy from 2 different sides, therefore giving it a 3-dimensional view if you can illuminate and charge those atoms up in a way that you can see it come back to you. So that was the thought behind it, was to have 2 angled lights hitting at a focus point with a 3rd light in the center to try and give it a 3-dimensional view. And this is the first time out doing this. This is what we got.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a valid thought, but it seemed to work. In this environment, at least. The lights we have are too big to run in a home, but they'd be good for maybe a large room, large, open area, maybe like a gymnasium or something like that. They're that powerful. So we're going to get a couple smaller ones that we can do it in a bedroom or whatever, and see if we can have a focus point of 2 lights crossing each other with a 3rd light in the center again, and see if we can replicate it. This might be, we were thinking maybe it's something we're on to. You never know, We were looking at different types of gases. And one of the guys in the group explained, he was looking at his gas can outside on a hot day, and he couldn't see it, but he could see the shadow of the fumes coming from the gas can on the ground. But he couldn't visibly see the fumes with his eyes. And when he looked it up and he researched it, he found out that it was because the sun light was being refracted through the vapors that we couldn't see with our eyes and actually casting a shadow on the grass. So the concept became like, well, what if we recreated that? UV light. We recreate the UV light facing down towards a focus point similar to what the sun would be in a sense, and illuminate any kind of mist or gas that might be going through. So we started looking up and finding out which types of gases would be illuminated by UV or IR light. Turns out that none of the noble gases are, and none of the, it was like oxygen does not. I think it was like, I have to go back and look at the notes. But anyway, it was like oxygen doesn't, nitrogen doesn't, but a gas called xenon does. And xenon's the ones they use in the illumination of light bulbs for like a
Or
car.
headlights.
Okay. So he said, what's the chances of free floating xenon? Does it exist free floating? And it turns out that under certain circumstances, when the temperatures are certain 69 degrees and a couple other conditions, which ironically, the temperature that night was 69 degrees and warm. It was like a humid 69, 70, 71 degrees. It was like, it was a lot of the things. So what's the chance of maybe xenon? So we found other factors that kind of eliminated it, but what's your thought on, and this might be a topic for another conversation, is there a certain type of gas that maybe they're not actually, maybe this mist that we're seeing is an actual gas that is being created that it's floating in a way that we're able to illuminate it. You know what I'm trying to say? So, what's your thoughts on that? Is there a type of gas that you would be aware of that maybe travels in a package? Like when we researched the xenon, it was like it travels low across the ground. It goes parallel, doesn't float up. It goes parallel across the surface, and it illuminates at a certain temperature. And it's not the actual xenon you're getting, but the bitrail of the xenon coming behind it that you're getting. And the xenon itself doesn't, but it's the disturbance that it creates in the atmosphere behind it that actually illuminates with these IR cameras. Pretty deep shit, right?
Yeah.
But this is what we do. So we got together on these meetings. You guys might want to join on them. When we do one, I can invite you in on it. And we have these meetings of the mind things. We get together and just throw out stuff like that. What things can we explore that would be different than the mainstream? This is one we came up with. Use the lights like that and first try out. Like I said, we got this potential mist going across the camera, and I don't know if it's because of the lights or if it was just dumb luck or whatever. But sure as shit, no, I'm going to try again.
Oh yeah.
You replicate it.
Well, since it wasn't visible in the full spectrum or black light spectrum, only in the IR spectrum, I would say flood that whole area with IR, because you can buy the black lights that you have. You can buy the same thing in IR. It's just called an IR illuminator, and flood that whole camp with that, and see what the hell you see then. That may become interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first try with this. Like I said, we messed around with it, and and so and this was just last 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, whatever, when we went out and investigated the camp. I pretty much showed you guys the video almost immediately after we caught it. And it wasn't too long before that. Just wanted to get input on it because we thought it was strange. Couldn't explain it, but that was our thought behind it, was to try and cross in the beams and see if that would actually create some sort of refracting thing. The light would be reflected differently than it would be off of a camera facing towards the same point. Have it be coming from a side angle as well to see if you can create a three-dimensional view of it. And that's what we did. I mean, if that makes sense.
Interesting theories.
Yeah.
Well,
You didn't listen to Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd say that too.
He said, don't cross the beams.
Don't cross the beams. Well, we definitely didn't listen to Dan Aykroyd. That's for sure. We'd be screwed if it was anything dangerous. But no, I mean, there was a couple other things too. It's a shame I don't have it all in front of me. But we came up with a bunch of actually, maybe I do. A bunch of other things. It would probably be a topic for another time. Maybe have a meeting. Next time we come on, we can discuss that.
Yeah,
definitely. Maybe have it be. So anyway, and I can say next time we do our meeting in the minds meeting, I'd love to invite you guys on if you're interested.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to get on there and we just shoot the shit. We throw out ideas.
The natural gas thing I've never even thought about.
Well, we're all looking for electromagnetic field. We're looking for static energy. We're looking for all these things. Well, nobody's ever considered. Well, maybe a human spirit is actually a type of gas. And because if you look up online, can a ghost be a type of gas? It actually gives you a list of gases that a spirit is thought it could potentially be. Look it up. It's right on Google. I mean, it's obviously been looked into before. That's where we kind of started with the idea was, well, which of those gases can we measure? What can we, what kind, if we use IR and UV light, does that reflect on any of those types of gases?
So I wonder if we could use an O2 sensor for maybe something.
Why not? I looked to see if I could buy a xenon detector. They're like $1,200. I was like, shit, ain't worth that shit. So
And that's not in this week's budget.
No, not next month's budget either, but or the one after. But not for this. But that was definitely a thought. What else can we come up with that would be potentially? I bought prisms before. I told you that, and see if we could refract light through a prism and break it up. That's where we come up with different ideas, and it's just see, because the mainstream shit's the mainstream shit. We're out there, we're all buying the EMF meters, and we're all the same EMF meters. We're all buying the same REM pods in the dog. It's a REM pod. It doesn't change. So what other things can we be innovative and creative with that might actually give us a result? And this is one of those things we came up with, and we actually were able to test it pretty quickly because we had it already. So.
Very interesting.
Give it a try. Try it on your next investigation. See if it works for you. Maybe if we get enough people doing it, we can replicate these results. I mean, I'm not out there. I'm mentioning it now because I don't hold nothing to myself. I'm not trying to patent it. If it works for the field and we're able to replicate it with multiple teams doing the same thing, replicating the results, this might be the missing link that we have. Maybe we've discovered something that we can utilize as a tool that actually might give us a better result, a more consistent result.
Yeah.
Give it a whirl.
And the whole issue is the repeatability.
Well, that's it. If you guys can repeat the same thing I did, and if I can repeat it again, and if you've got 3 or 4 groups on here that can do it, between Savage's stuff and mine, yours, you guys all have your own things going on as well. We can have 4 groups, 5 groups out there. Anybody who's in the chat, if they test it as well, we might be able to come up with something where if like 5 or 6 of us can replicate it, with some sort of luck. Why not?
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
Well,
all right, folks. Well,
we're going to spend the money anyway. Might as well spend it on a research idea that may or may not come up.
Yeah.
Well, it's $40, man. $45 for the camera. I bought the video camera for $45. I got the 2 UV lights for, like I said, for $33.
Yeah. For under $100, you got a decent plan on what you can try.
Sure. Just thought.
And
everybody started
more
somewhere.
Stuff than just one. And you got a decent start towards perhaps results or matching results. And the only drawback to this is you got lights and a camera versus just a little dumb dog or something.
Yeah.
Hey, the dogs work too. Nobody's discrediting the dog, but the dogs have proven themselves to get results. But it's the same for everybody. We need to expand ourselves a little bit. It's kind of the paranormal community is like somewhat stale, in my opinion, with innovative ideas.
And it has kind of stagnated. But I mean, I heard it described the other day as we're all using the same instrumentation with different clothing on it.
Mm-hmm. Just like I just said 5 minutes ago, you call it a dog, put it in a cat, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. A REM pod is a REM pod.
Exactly.
So K2 meter is a K2 meter. This is, and the good thing about with light is, unlike a REM pod, I mean, how if you're blowing a bunch of light into an environment, is there anything in the environment other than something that is illuminating that can debunk it? You know when you're using a K2 meter or a REM pod that there's outside factors that are influencing it. So you know you're getting that walkie-talkie that can, or that lightning storm from miles away that's causing your REM pod to go off. But is there anything that affects a UV light?
It would almost have to be only in its immediate proximity.
So you're sort of limiting the outside influences, in my opinion, as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you can replicate something that doesn't have the outside impact on it. So, just food for thought.
Yeah.
So
All right.
anyway, that's
Yeah.
my 2 cents for the night.
It's about 9:30, folks. We've been on here for an hour and a half.
See that? Good times. Let me turn my light back on.
Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and not sure who we have next week. Next week's the second week. Yeah. Jerry has somebody lined up, I'm sure.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just here.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just here looking pretty. Shut up, Dennis. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Tina.
Yeah.